Welcome to the finale of Castlevania 3, and welcome to what will become a commonplace area within the Castlevania series, the Grand Foyer. Even though the castle itself changes within each game, the main hall stays the same for the most part, even got the same walls and everything. I don't get it, but hey, it's Castlevania. It's a creature of chaos. And they're even playing the first ever Castlevania theme, Vampire Killer, which has added instruments to it, but I think I like the original better because it's more, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I guess I like the simplicity of the original version, but this version's good too. And even then, the original version of Vampire Killer is still not my favorite. My favorite will either have to be the Super Castlevania 4's rendition or Dracula X on the Super Nintendo. Wow, I was talking about stage music and not the actual stage itself. It's probably because the stage itself is kind of... it's not bland, but goes by really quickly. You have to go upstairs a couple of times and you have to watch out for these slimes, which are actually way more annoying than they look. They just jump up and down and they're really hard to hit with your whip. You also got axe armors, which are self-explanatory to deal with. Probably even easier to deal with Sypha, but you have to take into account that you take more damage as Sypha, so be careful. I was playing super cautiously right there because I need all the hit points I can get on this next boss, because he is no joke, and you may remember him from previous adventures. Except for the adventure itself, because he wasn't in that one for some stupid reason. Yes, it's Death. He's back. Now that I think about it, Belmont's Revenge, which is the next game coming up, also does not include Death in it. What is with the Game Boy games not including the Grim Reaper? That's silly. Every other game in the franchise does, but not the games on Game Boy. I'm not even sure if Legends has the Grim Reaper. That's how forgettable Legends was, honestly. All I remember is the protagonist. So I picked up Sypha's blue balls, which you're gonna need for the boss fight. Okay, that's my last dick joke, I promise. From now on, I'm gonna call them Thunderballs and hopefully not get sued by MGM. This either has to be the slowest collapsing bridge known to mankind, or Trevor is just the fastest speed walker on the face of the planet. Pick your choice. Here's Death. His pattern here is very similar to his pattern from the first game. He flies around, he throws miniature Grimscythes at you, and they'll target wherever you're currently standing at the moment. They don't just like home in on you, they just go wherever you are standing. But wait, that's not the end of the boss fight. I just empty his health bar. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right, there are two forms to this boss fight, and this one is hard without Sypha's Thunderballs. You need Thunderballs because the Syphs will actually home in on you this time. And the face is a hitbox, which means if you touch it, you'll get hurt. A lot. But basically what the Thunderball does is, Sypha will shoot out 3 balls which will home in on the nearest enemy on screen. It's probably Sypha's second best weapon outside of the Frost Shield. Or maybe best weapon actually. But there's also some downsides to it. One of the balls may get caught in a loop and will circle the enemy and just not leave the screen. In which case, if that happens, you won't be able to shoot another set of Thunderballs until that first set, or at least the one that's lazily arcing around the enemy, leaves the screen. Which could get you hit if you're not careful. I've ran into that problem on a couple of my test playthroughs of this game. All 5 of them. But not so much my actual recording. Like, I think I've gotten the pattern down. It's just shoot the Thunderballs while you're extremely close to the enemy. That way the Thunderballs will leave the screen instantly. This stage right here sucks. Well, mostly the boss fight, but the stage design itself is just downright dickish. And the doppelganger is hard to fight. We'll see it when we get to it. I really like this song even though it loops quickly. And you gotta be careful not to... Okay, you can't overjump otherwise you'll hit the chandelier and die, and you can't underjump otherwise you'll hit that random spike platform and also die. If you so much as touch your toe on any of this stuff, you die. And this part right here is just Konami flat out telling the consumer they hate them. Well, I'm guessing Konami does hate the consumer because when was the last time they made a good game, am I right? You have to truck up the stairs and just avoid the gargoyles and the bone pillars, and these ones shoot out... Wait, do they shoot out 2 or 3 projectiles? I'm not sure. I think it's just 2 because sprite limitations, but I have to check. But I'm also not letting the bone pillars have any sort of chance to fire back because I just want to live, man. Oh god, I just broke the game. Oh god, oh god, oh god. No, I didn't. Switching characters in graphically intensive scenes like Waterfall or the Fog levels, as I like to call them, kind of stutters the game a lot. And you will see that in the Doppelganger boss fight where I just kind of... I may have glitched the boss fight. Oh, you will see it. It's a special kind of what the fuck just happened right there. Sweet! You get 1-ups whenever you achieve 10,000 points, so points really do matter in the Castlevania games. Sometimes. We got another upwards auto-scrolling section right here, and I may not have the Frost Shield so I can't one-shot the enemies, but I still have the Thunderbolts which can one-shot the enemies, so I'm gonna be using that a lot. I just gotta watch out for my hearts. Sypha's spells consume way more hearts than Trevor's sub-weapons, except for the stopwatch, but everybody shares the stopwatch, so why make that weapon different, am I right? Also, this section is very long, and if you die at any part of this, you start at the bottom of the screen. I'm not even joking. But at least there's me at the end of this section. If you've taken too many hits, you can just pick that up. I will go on record to say that this color scheme for this particular castle is not that good. I mean, it is better than Castlevania 2's color scheme where everything's all pastel and dulled out, but this green right here just looks really awful. Probably because I don't really like the color green like that, or maybe because it looks like baby shit, I don't know. It just looks horrible. It's not puke green, but it's pretty damn close to that color scheme. What did I just get hit by? Oh, well, there's meat upstairs. You just have to jump across this pit and hopefully not get hit by the bats. And this next part can burn in hell. It's easy if you have Grant, but obviously I don't have Grant, so I'm just gonna have to grin and bear it. You have to get across this waterfall and then jump upstairs and get across the second set of waterfalls. It's hard to deal with because you got crows just harassing you the whole way through. And the crows can just somehow fly in and out and underwater and through walls without affecting their flying ability or getting wet even. Like, that's not fair. They're just clipping through walls. How's that shit happening? If only Sypha had her Frost Shield, this whole section right here would be a whole hell of a lot easier, but I don't have her Frost Shield, so I'm just gonna have to do things the hard way. Oh, you fucking crow bitch, I knew you were gonna drop that dagger. Yeah, the crows upon death drop sub-weapons, most likely the dagger, and you know how I feel about the dagger, it's just the most useless weapon ever in Castlevania history. These Medusa heads will give chase, but they'll never catch up to you. Hey man, slow down, I just want to say hi! No, I don't want to say hi, leave me alone. I don't know why they put those there. Anyway, the Medusa head, or the doppelganger is he takes the form of whichever character you're playing as at the moment, which you can use to your advantage actually by randomly switching the characters on a whim. The reason why this works is because the doppelganger takes a couple more seconds to transform into the character you're playing as opposed to you, so chances are you're gonna get a free extra hit while he's not doing anything, because the doppelganger is pretty aggressive. If he's Sypha, he'll use the flamethrower. If he's Belmont, he'll use the crosses and obviously the fake vampire killer whip. So you gotta be careful. He's pretty vicious. But this is not entirely foolproof. As you can see, I just stuck him into the wall. Yeah, that can happen. That can sure enough happen. So yeah, don't do what I do and use the transformation trick. That doesn't really work all that well. Get Sypha's Thunderballs. If you can even get Sypha's Thunderballs, they are the rarest item in the game, so maybe you're shit out of luck. So I'm just gonna use the transformation trick one more time, and this time it actually works because I got a pattern down. And I also got one hit left, so I'm kind of playing a bit more casually, or not casually, a bit more cautiously. Oh god, I suck at Castlevania 3. You wouldn't know it, but I actually had to play this game like 6 to 8 times in order to get this game down. Off topic, but I did complete Jedi Fallen Order a couple of days ago, and that game is fun, but it's also way harder than it looks. Even the stormtroopers in that game are a threat. Which is, I find weird because the stormtroopers in any Star Wars game are never a threat, but in this one they're just kind of 2 hits and you're dead. But no, I do want to record that game eventually and play it for this channel, because it's a fun game and you should try it out. But you got this doppelganger. Okay, good, I killed him. Fuck you, doppelganger. Oh, fuck that noise. And fuck this final section too. It's probably the hardest thing ever in a Castlevania game, except for maybe Castlevania The Adventure. Or the final section in Belmont's Revenge. It's freaking hard. It's, you got a downward scrolling auto-scroller again, which I don't know why did this game love auto-scrolling sections? I don't get it. And you also got this annoying platforming section in which you have to jump on moving platforms, believe it or not. And yeah, clock towers suck. I hate clock towers. What was that movie with the mouse and he was a detective or something? Actually, I think it was called The Great Mouse Detective. And I don't remember anything about that movie except for a clock tower scene in which the 2 mice were fighting. I haven't seen that movie since I was like 5 or 6. It's been a while. I have to sit down and actually watch that again. It's probably a good movie, but I just don't remember anything about it. But enough about that subject. I just strayed off the topic way too much there. This part is just like before. If you jump to where you think a platform is going to be, but that platform hasn't arrived yet, you will lose a life because you technically hit the bombless pit first. Which is stupid. I think you should be given a bit more leeway on that, but whatever. 1989 video game. In this part right here, you have to watch out and make sure you're not standing on any of the crumbling floors, because if you do for too long, you will fall into the spikes, and one hit kill, you die. But you also have to deal with the bone pillars, which I just used the cross for. You don't have to do anything special with those guys. And also, might I add that this theme song right here is just annoying. It loops way too quickly. It's pretty much a 10-second loop. And this is probably the only song in the game which infuriates me, because it's tied to this level and it loops too quickly. This part right here is rough. You gotta jump onto those pendulums with the stiff momentum of the jump, as well as deal with the bats. Good thing I have Sypha get the stopwatch, otherwise this part will be even more difficult than humanly possible. And I've heard in the Japanese version, the bats don't come. Like, they got rid of the bats in this section, so that's a plus for the Japanese version, I guess. But even then, it's still, what the fuck. Oh, and also, please don't die to Dracula. Just do not die to Dracula, otherwise you'll have to start half the stage over. Which is why I'm gonna get as many hearts as I can in order to defeat Dracula as quickly as possible.
Do you want to get a bad time?
Yeah, there's a time limit, by the way. Trevor just croaks whenever the time hits quadruple zero, but it really shouldn't matter since I got triple cross and it does a lot of damage to Dracula's forms, including the third and final form. P.S. Dracula has 3 forms in this game. I know you can use the axe on Dracula to a similar effect, including his third and final form, because you don't have to jump up to get him. But I just like using the cross. It does, at least in my opinion, it does way more damage. I'm gonna get Sypha her flamethrower ability back, and Trevor with the triple cross. And that should make this boss fight go by super quickly at least. Hopefully, as long as I don't fuck up. Which is very easy to do here. So the first form of Dracula, he'll raise these 3 flame pillars up. The third flame pillar will come up wherever you're at, so you gotta make sure to dodge that. And then, second form is this monstrosity. He'll spit blood out. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's blood, maybe it's acid. But he spits that out, and it hurts you. You gotta just time it right so you walk under him and not take any damage. I usually use Sypha for this part, but I'm kind of afraid of taking the extra damage, so I stuck to Trevor. The third form is easily the hardest form in the series. Well, maybe not the series, but the actual game itself is definitely the hardest boss fight. He'll shoot these 3 lasers, which will come out of his eyes and his 2 hands. And then you have these platforms, which will raise. I almost fell into that pit. Be careful not to fall into the pit. And also, the hitbox is the eyes or the crown of his head. It varies. You can manipulate where the lasers are going by just standing in one spot and then moving at the last second. You'll see this glow appear before the laser itself appears, so you got that. But also, it takes it's basically 4 hits and you're dead. It takes about a quarter of your health. See, shit, I got 1 more hit left before I die. Will I defeat Dracula on 1 hit? Of course I do, because I'm awesome. And he just anticlimactically fades into the background. Now, you can still fall into those pits because the platforms take their sweet ass time. And that was Castlevania 3. All those test playthroughs didn't go to waste after all. Trevor made many sacrifices. The long fight is over. Dracula is dead, and all other spirits are asleep. Sypha, the vampire killer, has had a bad life, but since she met Trevor, she is beginning to feel more comfortable with herself. After this fight, the Belmont name shall be honored by all people. The next game in the Castlevania lineup is sadly not Castlevania 4. Damn it, I'm so close to that game I could just taste it. No, it's Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Which is way better than The Adventure, I'll say that. I'll see you then.